In the world of superheroes, being mind-controlled is not only possible, but it's just an occupational hazard. And pretty much every superhero ends up being mind-controlled at one point or another. Mainly because it allows writers to turn the heroes evil, and who doesn't love watching a hero act like a villain? And of course, Batman is no exception to this. In fact, as one of the most popular superheroes in the world, he has been mind-controlled on quite a few occasions. And this video is going to go over the 5 best times that Batman has been mind-controlled. Apocalypse War. In the beginning of this film, the Justice League launches a strike against Apocalypse, attempting to take Darkseid out once and for all in order to protect Earth and the rest of the universe from him. Sadly, Darkseid knows about the attack ahead of time and is ready for them, and manages to defeat all of them, killing some, tearing others' bodies apart, and capturing others, with only a few of the heroes managing to escape. And Darkseid then tortures the ones who are still alive, and remakes some of them with machinery, and then he mind-washes all of them, with the exception of Superman, whom he left powerless so that he could watch his world burn. But one of the mind-controlled ones is Batman, who is one of Darkseid's head lieutenants and runs most of his army. He is a super genius after all. And his duties include harvesting all of Earth's natural resources and pouring an ocean of lava onto the Green Lantern's homeworld, killing several Green Lanterns in the process. But the best moment of this mind control is when Batman comes face to face with his son, Damian Wayne. And Damian is trying to free him from Darkseid's controls, but Batman is ordered to kill Damian. And it's an amazing fight between the two, with Batman just beating the hell out of Damian, for once not holding back at all, and he even stabs Damian Wayne straight through the leg with a kryptonite sword. But the most brutal part is Batman telling Damian that he never wanted him, that he never loved him, and that he was nothing more than the product of the time that Batman was drugged and raped by Talia al Ghul. And hearing that come from your father has got to hurt, even when you're as well trained as Damian Wayne is. And for a moment it even looked like Batman was going to kill him, but of course Damian Wayne manages to reach his father at the end. And Batman may have been responsible for the deaths of millions of humans at this point, but being face to face with his own son as he's supposed to kill him is a moment so emotional that he's able to break free of the mind control. And then instead of using the sword on Damian, he throws it into Darkseid's eye. And I know a lot of fans have very mixed feelings about this film, and understandably so, but it does have some undeniably entertaining moments in it, such as this. Superman the Animated Series. In this classic episode of Superman series, Batman has gone missing, and Superman goes to Gotham City to find him, even going so far as to wear the Batsuit and meeting Commissioner Gordon as Batman, so as to convince people that Batman is still around. We also learn that one of Superman's powers is to mimic anyone's voice perfectly, as he has complete control over his vocal cords. I've never actually seen this power anywhere else, of course. It's mainly just there so we can have a reason for him to be able to sound like Batman. But still, since it's in this show, it is canon. And after much investigating, Superman and Robin discover that while Batman is missing, Bruce Wayne is not. In fact, he's in an isolated compound with a group of the best scientists employed by Wayne Enterprises. And they also discover nanites on Bruce Wayne's telephone. And they realise that these nanites have gone inside Bruce Wayne and taken over his mind. And the only one with that kind of technology is Brainiac, who is using Wayne Enterprises' resources to build a rocket so that he can go back into space, as he's currently stranded on Earth thanks to Superman. Now, Batman isn't actually in this episode all that much. In fact, the most entertaining part of it is seeing Superman in Batman's Batsuit, acting like he's the Dark Knight, with moments such as Robin telling Superman how to scare criminals. After all, Superman is a Boy Scout, and when he's interrogating the Penguin, he has to smash up his office in order to put the fear of God into him. And of course, watching him beat up Bane using nothing more than sheer brute force, something which Batman is not really able to do, lacking super strength. And it's refreshing to see a villain go after Bruce Wayne and not Batman. After all, Bruce Wayne is one of the richest, most powerful men in the world, so obviously villains would be interested in him and the resources at his command, just like Brainiac was. And although some people have gone after Bruce Wayne here and there, it actually happens a lot less than you'd think. But anyway, Superman is able to take down Brainiac and restore Batman to normal, with a little help from Tim Drake of course. But this is a good self-contained episode of the classic Superman show, and I fully recommend watching it. Young Justice. In the finale of Season 1, the supervillain group The Light has used nano-sorcery to create a Starro mind-controlled device, and they've managed to place it on the entire Justice League, meaning the villains have complete control over the bodies of the Justice League members, and only the sidekicks can take them down. Fortunately, the sidekicks are able to get a cure for the mind control device. They place another small device on the skin of the heroes, and then these get sucked into their bodies, and the heroes get their minds back. Of course, this does mean they have to take the heroes down in the first place in order to be able to put the device on them, and fighting their mentors is no easy task. And pretty quickly, Robin realizes that he can't beat Batman. But he doesn't need to, as he has a superpowered friend with him. And so Superboy takes Batman down with essentially one hit. Now I know that might seem odd, since usually Batman is capable of defeating Superman in a fight, who has way more power than Superboy does, but you have to remember that this is not Batman who is fighting here. It's his body, sure, but he's being remote controlled by the Light via the Starro tech. And of course Batman's greatest weapon is his mind, and without that, he's just a guy. Yes, a guy with a lovely suit and a lot of gadgets, but still just a man. And even though Batman may be able to defeat gods and monsters, and even the entire Justice League, he did all of this using strategies and tactics he devised. But since he's being remote controlled, he's got none of this. So he was no real threat to Superboy. But rest assured, if Batman had been himself, then this fight would have gone very differently. Batman Bad Blood. When it comes to Batman's rogues gallery, the one who is the best at mind control is of course the Mad Hatter, which is why Talia al Ghul kidnaps him, then captures Batman, and has the Hatter mind control him. It's not an easy task, as Batman has a strong, disciplined mind, and he has managed to break free of the Hatter's mind control before. Though weirdly, the Hatter tries to break through his control using an orgy as a way of taking over his mind. But as Talia says, this is Batman, and simple lust just won't be enough to break him. It's odd that he even tries, to be honest. So the Hatter tries again, and this time digs a little deeper. But he is interrupted by the Bat family, who are there to rescue Batman. And of course they succeed, despite the overwhelming odds, and manage to bring Batman home. And everything then returns to normal, and Bruce Wayne attends an event for Wayne Enterprises, displaying their new inventions. And then Bruce Wayne turns evil and teams up with Talia al Ghul to take over the minds of everyone at this event, who are of course very powerful people, rich people, world leaders, diplomats, and people like that. As it turns out, the Mad Hatter was actually finished mind-washing Batman, and that him being rescued was all part of Talia al Ghul's plan to send him in as a Trojan horse. But fortunately, the Bat family does manage to work this out, even if they are a little bit late with their deductions. And so they crash the event and fight all of the supervillains, which includes Batman. And we get an absolutely amazing hand-to-hand fight between Nightwing and Batman. And Nightwing does and says everything he can think of to break through to the real Batman, but nothing seems to work. That is, until Batman picks up a handgun, which reminds him of the most traumatic event of his life, his parents' death. And this shatters the mind control conditioning and frees him from the bad guy's influence. And so the Bat family all come together to take the villains down. And the best part of this is undoubtedly just the Batman and Nightwing fight, because they really go for it, and it's interesting to see who would actually win in a fight between them. True, Dick Grayson as Robin couldn't beat Batman, but a fully grown Dick Grayson, with all of his skills fully developed, well, he has a much better chance. Although to be fair, Nightwing is of course holding back in this scenario, so it doesn't answer the question fully. But still, it's an amazing fight to watch. The Arkham series. Now this one is a bit different to the others on this list. With the others, we're actually watching Batman under the mind control, whereas this one, we see the internal struggle in Batman's mind as he tries to break free of the mind control. You see, the Mad Hatter uses technology to control others' minds, and these are metal bands that go around a person's head, usually hidden in a hat or mask. And basically, we're watching Batman struggle to take this device off his head and get control of his mind back. And the first time we see this is in Batman Arkham City, where the Mad Hatter tries to take over Batman's mind and make him his slave. And the level we play is a physical representation of Batman fighting to take off the mask. And we're just having a fist fight as Batman manages to work up the strength to just take off the hat. To be honest, this one is quite simple and not really that imaginative. However, the one in Batman Arkham Origins is amazing. Batman goes to an Alice in Wonderland themed world, running on playing cards, riding in rivers made of tea, and overcoming the White Rabbit's puzzles. This is a beautiful level and easily my favourite mission in the Arkham Origins game. Seriously, it has a very imaginative design that is just wonderful to look at, and it's a lot of fun to play through. And Batman Arkham Knight had its own level as well, which isn't actually as much fun as the Origins one in design, but the art style is still very beautiful. Batman and his enemies are all filtered to look, well, just to look awesome. And Batman is fighting to free the White Rabbit, whom is a mind-controlled cop. And the Mad Hatter is a giant who is narrating the world of Batman fighting through the pages of a giant book. We are literally in the book fighting through the different Arkham games. And I just think it's a lot of fun and a great representation of Batman fighting to free himself from the Mad Hatter's influence. And that is the 5 best times that Batman has been mind-controlled. Personally, my favourite is actually in Superman the Animated Series, mainly because it's Bruce Wayne, not Batman, who's being mind-controlled, and I think that allowed for a more interesting story, or at the very least a different style of storytelling. Even the one in Batman Bad Blood, it's not actually Bruce Wayne that Talia Ghul's going after. I mean, technically she is, but since she knew he was Batman, it doesn't really count. But which one of these is your favourite? And are there any other times that Batman has been mind-controlled that you think should have been on this list instead? Be sure to let us know in the comments. And I'd just like to quickly remind everyone that we have some merchandise available on our store, the prices for which have recently been reduced. And I'd also like to say thanks to all of you who have donated to the Needle Mouse Productions page on Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.